Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin ng wasto at nararapat. Kagandahang asal ang ipakita, ipadama ang pusong may malasakit. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Sakali mang tayo'y subukin ng unos, ating haharapin ng walang takot. Sasamahan ka ni Fernan at Dino, ang bagong barkada mo. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome to another episode of Learning here in Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. I am Ma'am Kristine, your science teacher lecturer for today. Are you excited for today's lesson? Great! To start, let us have a short activity entitled Word Hint. In this activity, you need to guess or find out the hidden word using the clues provided in a span of 20 seconds. Feel free to join our activity by commenting your answers in the comment section. Are you ready, Fernandino Teens? Let's start. First hint, the hidden word is composed of 6 letters. Second hint, the first letter of the hidden word corresponds to the third letter of the English alphabet. Third hint, the second letter of the hidden word refers to the element symbol of hydrogen. Fourth hint, the third letter of the hidden word refers to the first letter of the Greek alphabet and also defined as the beginning. Fifth hint, the fourth and fifth letter of the hidden word is the 12th letter of the Filipino alphabet. Last hint, the sixth letter of the hidden word corresponds to the first letter of the world's largest animal that has big ears, long tusks, and powerful trunk. Are you ready, Fernandino teens? Your timer starts now. Time is up. If you know the answer, kindly type it in the comment section. Let us check if your answer is correct. Let us go through those clues one more time. First hint, the hidden word is composed of 6 letters. Second hint, the first letter of the hidden word corresponds to the third letter of the English alphabet. The third letter in the English alphabet is letter C. Third hint, the second letter of the hidden word is the element symbol for hydrogen. The element symbol for hydrogen is letter H. Do you have the same answer, Fernandino teens? Very good. Fourth hint, the third letter of the hidden word refers to the first letter of the Greek alphabet and also defined as the beginning. The answer is letter A. The same with the English alphabet, Greek alphabet also starts with letter A. And in Greek, letter A is defined as the alpha or the beginning. Fifth hint, the fourth and fifth letter of the hidden word is the 12th letter of the Filipino alphabet. The answer is NG. In the Filipino alphabet, the 12th letter NG is the only 2 letters in the alphabet that are equivalent to 1 letter. Last hint, the 6th letter of the hidden word corresponds to the first letter word of the largest land animal that has big ears, long tusks, and powerful trunk. According to the American Association for the Advancement of Science, the largest land animal today is elephant, or to be more specific, the African elephant, which weigh up to 7,000 kilograms and grow up to 13 feet. Therefore, the 6th letter is letter E. Finally, the hidden word is change. Did you get the same answer, Fernandino teens? Very good. According to Heraclitus, an ancient Greek philosopher, there is nothing permanent except change. We live in a world where change is constant. From our body that is continuously growing and developing to the situation that we are in, all of these are subject to change. Today, our lesson is related to change. Or to be more specific, our topic for today is about changes between a liquid and a gas. Let us read the objectives for today's lesson. First, describe the different phase change of matter. Second, cite instances or scenarios when a liquid turns into a gas and when a gas turns into a liquid. And third, explain what happens to a liquid and a gas once it absorbs and releases heat respectively. Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. It exists as solids, liquids, and gases. Matter changes phases when it transforms from one state to another, such as from a solid into a liquid, from a liquid into a gas, and even from a gas into a solid. To put it simply, Phase change is a transition of matter from one state to another. There are 6 phase changes that can occur. They are melting, vaporization, sublimation, deposition, condensation, and freezing. Melting occurs when solid transforms to liquid, such as when ice turns to water. Vaporization is when any liquid turns to gas, like when liquid acetone or alcohol evaporates to the air. Deposition, on the other hand, is when matter transforms from gas to solid. Have you ever experienced any gas turn to solid? Name an example and type it in the comment box. Awesome job, Fernandino teens! Next, we have sublimation. This occurs when solid turns to gas. An example of this is when solid mud balls turn to gas without passing the liquid phase. Condensation then is when gas changes to liquid. Can you give an example that depicts this phenomenon? Great job, Fernandino teens! And finally, freezing. I bet you are all familiar with this. It is when liquid transforms to solid. Can you cite an example of this phenomenon? Excellent work, Fernandino teens! Is it not amazing to see all this transformation and changes around us? Truly, science is everywhere. Now that you have re-familiarized yourself with the 6 phase changes, we will explore more on the process that takes place when a liquid turns into a gas and when a gas transforms into a liquid, or simply, vaporization and condensation. All these and more when we come back here in Fernandino Teens TV Season 2.
Ang Schools Division Office City of San Fernando, Pampanga ay kaisa ng Department of Education sa pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral. Inilunsad ang Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors upang magbigay ng educational at psychological assistance sa mga mag-aaral, magulang at stakeholders ng Division. Kaya, kung may nais kayong itanong tungkol sa pag-aaral, maaaring magpadala ng mensahe sa Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors Facebook page o tumawag sa mga numero na makikita sa ibaba ng inyong screen tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa ganap na alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Maaari rin kayong sumangguni sa ating guidance counselors na nagbibigay ng guidance and counseling services. Lahat ng inyong ibabahagi ay mananatiling confidential. Ang nasabing programa ay nagsisilbing daan upang malaman ang feedbacks ng stakeholders para matulungan ang ating divisyon na mapagbuti pa ang mga sumusunod na programa. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Tumawag na sa aming mga numero o bumisita na sa aming Facebook page at magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back to Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. A while ago, we enumerated the different phase changes that happen all around us. This time, let us focus on 2 specific phase changes. Let us talk about vaporization and condensation. Have you ever seen liquid disappear in front of your eyes? Or how rubbing alcohol easily dried out after applying it to your hands for a very short period of time? It's intriguing, right? Do you have any idea how this happened? In our activity, we will answer your questions and how all those things are happening. Our activity is entitled When a Liquid Absorbs Heat. In this activity, we will find out the changes taking place when liquid water is left in an open container for some time using the particle model of matter. As a recall, the particle model of matter is the theory that describes and explains the behavior of solids, liquids, and gases. According to the particle model of matter, matter is made up of tiny particles. Particles of matter are moving all the time. The particles of matter have spaces between them, and the particles of matter attract each other. For this activity, we will watch a short video and answer a set of questions regarding the experiment. Let us read the following questions that we need to answer after the experiment. Question number 1. Describe what happened to water in the container after some time. Question number 2. Where do you think the water goes? Question number 3. What external factor or factors do you think greatly affect the water in the container based on the experiment? Question number 4. Would anything happen differently if you heated the water using a burner? Again, these are the questions that we will answer after watching the experiment. Are you ready, Fernandino teens? Let's watch and learn.
Good day, students. How are you feeling today? I hope you are doing great. Today, we will do an activity entitled When a Liquid Absorbs Heat. By doing this activity, you should be able to describe what happened to water when it is left in an open container for some time, explain the process taking place at the submicroscopic level, and identify the factor or factors that affect the behavior of a liquid. In this activity, we need to prepare the following materials: glass with tap water, liquid coloring, syringe or dropper, chalk or marker. Easy, right? If you have these materials at home, you can also perform this experiment with the minimal supervision of your guardian, parent, or any adult present. Let's start. First step, put drops of liquid coloring in the water. This step is optional. You can still do this activity without putting liquid coloring in the water. We only use this in the experiment in order for us to easily see the water in the jar. Second step, look at the water in the jar or container and mark the jar where the water levels stop, so you can observe and measure changes over time. Third step, put the container filled with water on your window or any area at home where it can receive sunlight. Last step, observe what will happen to the water after some time. After a few hours, this is the result of the experiment. How about yours?
Hello, Fernandino teens! Did you enjoy watching the experiment? Great! Let us recall and answer the guide questions. You can also share a short answer in the comment section. Are you ready? Let's take a look at an image from the experiment as a basis for question number 1. The image on the left side shows the initial amount of water before the experiment started, while the image on the right shows the amount of water in the container after leaving it for a few hours. The question is, what happened to the water after leaving it for some time? Feel free to write your answer in the comment section below. The answer is, The amount of water in the container decreased or lessened after leaving it for some time. Do we have the same answer, Fernandina teens? Good job. For question number 2, referring to the same image from the experiment, where do you think the water go? Let me know your answer in the comment section below. The correct answer is the water in the container turns into a gas and rises in the atmosphere. Or in other words, the liquid water turns into water vapor and rises in the atmosphere. Do we have the same ideas, Fernandina teens? Very good. Let us proceed to the next question. Question number 3. What external factor or factors greatly affect the water in the container based on the experiment? Do you have any ideas, Fernandina teens? Do not hesitate and be brave. Share your ideas by commenting your answer in the comment section. The answer is the external factor that greatly affects the water in the container is the heat coming from the sun. Is your answer the same, Fernandina teens? Very well. For our last question, would anything happen differently if you heated the container using a burner or a fire? Feel free to answer this question by commenting below. Have you tried to boil water in a kettle or heat a soup in a pot? Have you noticed the steam coming out from the boiling water or soup? If yes, the same thing will happen if we are to use a burner or a fire in the experiment instead of placing the water under the sun. The water will transform from its liquid state into its gaseous state even if we were to use fire instead of placing the water under the sun, and as a result, the water will decrease. This process of transforming a liquid into a gas is called vaporization. Vaporization only occurs when a liquid reaches its boiling point and turns into a gas. To explain the experiment even further, we observe that the volume of water from an open container decreases after leaving it for a long time. How do we explain this? Based on the particle model of matter, particles are always in motion or the particles of matter are always moving. Note that the particles mentioned in this case are the molecules of water. These water molecules differ from each other because of the kinetic energy they possess. Some particles are moving faster than others and therefore have higher kinetic energy, and some are moving slower and therefore having lower kinetic energy. So, even at room temperature or without the presence of fire in our experiment, some water molecules have enough kinetic energy to overcome the attraction of neighboring molecules and escape from the surface of the liquid, and eventually move into the air. To break away from the surface of the liquid, the molecules must have at least some kinetic energy. The process by which the molecules on the surface of a liquid break away and change into gas is called evaporation. Usually, it is described as the process where a liquid is changed into a gas. As evaporation takes place, the water molecules that did not escape and were left in the liquid have a lower average kinetic energy than the molecules that escape. The effect of this is the decrease in the temperature of the liquid water. Evaporation is a cooling process. Evaporation causes cooling because the process requires heat or thermal energy. The energy is taken away by the molecules when they convert from liquid into gas, and this causes cooling on the original surface. For instance, Have you tried to apply acetone on your nails? Or sanitize your hands with rubbing alcohol? And after some time, the acetone and rubbing alcohol easily dries out or evaporates. These two give you an idea why evaporation is a cooling process. You can feel a cooling effect yourself when you apply acetone on your nails or rubbing alcohol on your arms. Acetone and rubbing alcohol are volatile liquids. A substance that readily transforms from liquid into gas at normal room temperature is considered volatile liquids. Once the acetone or alcohol makes contact with your body, the molecules of alcohol or acetone get heat energy from your body, leaving your body with less amount of heat and therefore feeling a little bit of cool sensation. Since you already know that liquid turns into gas when it absorbs heat, how do you think a gas turns back into liquid? Any ideas? We will answer your questions after a short break. Only here in Fernandino Teens TV Season 2.
Maya po oras kaya kayo, Fernandinos. Ako pala ay Elwin Arl Serrano ng City Tourism Office ng Siyudad San Fernando. Ngayong bulan na ini, pagmasusyantaya ang National Heritage Month, nating temang Victory and Humanity, Upholding Filipino Heritage and Identity. Kambena nini, metong karang aktibidades na ng siyudad, apin ng launching ng bayong Heritage Passport. Yung Heritage Passport, apin ng metong karing proyekto ng kakatamong siyudad, yung pamanamuna ng Mayor Edwin D. Santiago. Anong nuka rin makalagelangan, ding eganagan ng heritage sites, heritage structures, naakit tamo kin kay katamong heritage district. Makakayado din kini, ding importansya da ding mapil na tradisyon, kay ni syudad, kalupa na ning pamangawang parol, ang po yung pamangalesa. May awo siyang heritage passport, uling atin kang dapat gawan, anong nukaran puntalan mo lading at yung passport, at saka ka mag-selfie. Kay ba't kanta, palto making tourism office, at mamiyalang sticker ka rin eganagan ng apuntulan mong lugar. At timong may ngari ang tutong passport. Balo mi ngeni, panahon na ini, etamo makain bisa lumal, uli na ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman kimbanwa nga ini, agkatan ko lading bikers tamo, edad 18 hanggang 50, imbis na lumaot kayo po, di na nyo lang dita ka oras di kaya katamong heritage structures, kaya ni syudad. Anya naman karing mumunang 50 bikers ang makayari kaya katamong heritage passport, midinan lang premyong only San Fernando loot bag. Inggawan nyo mo bakan ta makapag-register, punta kayo mismo opisina na ng City Tourism, ng munisipyo, at saka kayo magdalang metong valid ID. Kabinan ng kaya kayong heritage passport, ating makasipit ang instruction nung nano pa ing dapat gawan. Anya naman ka rin hanggang kapadyakin, nanano ko pa, tara na!
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back, Fernandino Teens. Before the commercial break, I asked if you know how gas turns back to liquid. Let us figure this out together. Have you noticed the tiny droplets of water on plant leaves in the morning even though it did not rain the other day? Or drink cold water on a hot day and after some time, the outer part of the cup starts to moist. Where did the moisture come from? Let us watch this video experiment and find out the answer together.
Today, we will conduct an activity on how a gas transforms into a liquid. This activity is entitled When Gas Turns to Liquid. After performing this activity, you should be able to Describe what happened to gas when it is cooled. Explain the process taking place at the submicroscopic level and identify the factor or factors that affect the behavior of gas. In this experiment, make sure to seek advice of an adult to guarantee your safety before, during, and after the experiment. Are you ready? These are the materials: ice, cups, and kettle. For our first step, boil a glass of tap water. Next, slowly and safely transfer the hot water in the first container. If you will notice, the steam is coming out of the freshly boiled water. Next, flip the second cup, placing it upside down on the first cup. Put an ice cube on top of the flip cup. Make sure to place it properly so it doesn't fall off or slide down the cup. Wait for the ice cube to melt and patiently observe what is happening inside the cup. Can you see what is forming inside the cup? Let us take a closer look. Finally, once the ice cube melts, you may now remove the second cup and look what's inside of it.
Hello again, Fernandino teens. Did you watch the experiment? Have you learned something from the video? Great! Let us now analyze the experiment. The experiment showed the process of condensation. Condensation is the reverse process of vaporization. It is a process in which the vapor or gaseous matter of a substance is changed into the liquid by removing and transferring heat from the gas to a cooling medium. In the video earlier, the steam, which is a gas, turned to liquid phase, which is the water droplets formed in the cup. The cooling medium in this experiment is the cup with ice on top of it. The vapor molecules from the boiled water are hot, therefore they contain a lot of energy. On the other hand, the flip cup is cooler because of the ice on it. As soon as the vapor touches the flip cup, some of the heat energy of the vapor molecules are transferred to the cup, in effect, cooling the water vapor and losing some of its heat energy. Take note, when a gas is cooled, the motion of the particles slow down. If the particles slow down, it means they lose energy. And when the particles lose enough energy, the attraction for each other can overcome their motion and cause them to associate with one another to become a liquid. This is the liquid observed under the flip cup in the experiment. To put it simply, when a gas turns into a liquid, the process is called condensation. Formation of clouds is an example of condensation, or when a gas turns into a liquid. Condensation is very important and plays a vital role in the water cycle. Condensation allows the water to fall to the ground in the form of precipitation. This spreads out water more widely, allowing plants and animals access to more water. Also, farmers rely on condensation to water their crops so they can depend less on irrigation. Without condensation, there would be no clouds. Lack of clouds would mean there would be no rain, and the average temperature of the earth would increase. resulting in large areas of land becoming desert. There are many other examples of condensation that you may have observed. Example, the morning dew on grass or plants. The ground level fog that we see on some cold days or along the highway leading to Baguio City. Condensation also happens when eyeglasses becomes blurry due to fog when you go from an air-conditioned room or the water that collects on the outside of your glass of cold drink. These are some few of the many examples of condensation that occur on a daily basis in real life. How about you, Fernandina teens? Can you think of an example where a gas turns into a liquid? Let us know and do not hesitate to type your answer in the comment section. Now, since you already have an idea on how vaporization and condensation occur, or on how a liquid turns into a gas, and how a gas turns into a liquid, let us have a short evaluation. We will flash an image on the screen and you will identify whether the given example is vaporization or condensation. Are you ready, Fernandino teens? Here is the first image. The image shows a steaming hot coffee. What type of phase change is shown in the image? Is it condensation or vaporization? Kindly type your answer in the comment section. The correct answer is vaporization. For the next image, the image shows a glass of cold water with droplets of water outside. What type of phase change is shown in the image? Is it condensation or vaporization? Share your answer in the comment section, Fernandino teens. The correct answer is condensation. Next example, the image shows drying of clothes. What type of phase change is shown in the image? Share your answer in the comment section, Fernandino teens. The correct answer is vaporization. Next example, the image shows the dripping water from the air conditioner. What type of phase change is shown in the image? Is it condensation or vaporization? Kindly type your answer in the comment section. The correct answer is condensation. Next example, the image shows the drying of wet floor. What type of phase change is shown in the image? Is it condensation or vaporization? Kindly type your answer in the comment section. The answer is vaporization. Good job, Fernandino teens! Thank you for your participation. I think you already have a grasp of today's lesson. When we return, I will check how much you learned from our lesson. That and more when Fernandino Teens TV Season 2 returns.
Hindi lamang sa larangan ng pangkabuhayan apektado ang maraming pamilyang Pilipino, kundi maging sa larangan ng pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino. Inilunsad ng siyudad ng San Fernando ang programang Nurturing Environment and System for Thriving or NEST, isang education community pantry na naglalayon para sa isang malawakang pagtulong, paglantabay at paggabay na ang focus ay ang makapagbigay ng tulong at suporta sa ating mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng educational needs gaya na lamang ng school supplies, tutorial sessions, study tips, at iba pang mga pamamaraan na mas lalong makatutulong sa pag-angat ng ating edukasyon. Dahil hindi hadlang ang pandemya sa magandang kinabukasang naghihintay sa ating mga mag-aaral. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga kalahok sa programang ito? sa pagtutulungan ng ating school administrators, guro, magulang, at iba pang mga miyembro ng ating komunidad gaya ng barangay officials at sangguniang kabataan ay siguradong magiging mas matagumpay ang programang ito. Paano nga ba ang magiging proseso ng naturang programa? Una, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Facebook group, ang Pampanga High School Nest Education Community Pantry na pangungunahan ng Educational Pantry Coordinator. Ang mga magulang, tagapangalaga at mga guro ay ia-add ng ating Educational Pantry members sa Facebook group na ito. Sa page na ito, maaaring i-post ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga o sino mang miyembro ng Educational Pantry ang kanilang mga kahilingan o requests. Kailangan ding ilagay ang pangalan ng mag-aaral, grade, at section para sa mas agarang aksyon. Oo nga pala, hindi lang requests ang pwedeng i-post. Pwede ring mag-post ang mga nais magbigay ng tulong o mga gustong mag-donate. Sabi nga nila, sharing is caring. Tandaan na ang Facebook group na ito ay pribado at posts na may kaugnayan lamang sa page na ito ang maaaprobahan. Mayroon din palang Google Form na ipamamahagi kung saan maaari nating isumite ang ating requests o kahilingan. Paano naman ang mga walang internet access sa bahay? Huwag mangamba dahil merong mga nakalaang drop boxes ang ating paaralan na kung saan maaaring ihulog ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang kanilang requests. Sa mga nais namang mag-donate ng school supplies, maaaring ilagay ang mga ito sa tabi ng drop boxes. Maaari ring mag-donate ng mga kagamitan o cash donation kaakibat ang pagsusumite ng deed of donation form. Pangalawa, mahalaga ang ugnayan ng mga guro at ng mga magulang o tagapangalaga sa programang ito. Gamit ang video calls o chats ay ipahahayag ng mga guro ang adhikain ng programang ito sa mga magulang o tagapangalaga. Maaari ring gawin ang orientation na ito ng face-to-face kasabay ng schedule ng kuhanan ng mga module. Gaya ng nabanggit, hindi lamang mga bagay ang maaaring i-donate. Pwede ring mag-conduct ng tutorial session, study tips, at iba pang mga kagamitan sa pagkatuto gaya ng mga aklat o kaya ay gadgets. Ikatlo, ang requested needs ng ating mga magulang o tagapangalaga ay ililista ng ating Nest focal person. Ang mga coordinator naman ang mag-aayos ng mga ito. Ang advisors ng ating mga mag-aaral, guidance counselor, at iba pang mga guro ay ipaaalam sa ating mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang petsa at oras ng pamimigay ng requested needs na gaganapin sa paaralan. Sabi nga nila, it takes a village to raise a child. Kaya naman aktibo at iba yung pakikilahok ang inaasahan sa pagsasanib puwersa ng paaralan at barangay na siyang tutukoy sa pangangailangan ng bawat Fernandinong mag-aaral at kikilos upang matugunan ito sa tulong at suporta rin ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. Isang malawakang komunidad para sa isang produktibong educational community pantry ay tiyak na lilikha ng iba yung pagkilos upang maging mas magaan at madali ang pagkatuto ng bawat kabataang Fernandino. Kaya naman tandaan, magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back, Fernandino Teens. Before we check how much you learned from our lesson, let us summarize what we discussed. To sum it up, matter exists in solids, liquids, and gases. These three can change phases interchangeably. A phase change is a transition of matter from one state to another. Phase changes occur regularly in nature and can be conducted by people. The phase in which matter exists is determined by the pressure and temperature of its surroundings. By manipulating the pressure and temperature, you can change the phase of the matter. Our discussion focused on phase change between a liquid and a gas. When a matter changes its phase from liquid to gas, it is called vaporization. Vaporization can be classified into two: boiling and evaporation. Generally, they are similar in terms of meaning and they both happen when a liquid absorbs heat, but they have differences. First, in terms of surface, evaporation only happens on the surface of a liquid, while in boiling, molecules could come from beneath the surface when the liquid is boiling. Second, in terms of temperature, evaporation happens even if the liquid did not reach its boiling point, while boiling only occurs when a liquid reaches its boiling point. Third, in terms of time and energy, evaporation requires a lot of time and energy since it is a slower process, while boiling usually requires less amount of time and energy since it is a fast process. Lastly, always remember that evaporation is a more natural process compared to boiling. On the other hand, condensation is the phase change from a gas to a liquid. Condensation happens when gas releases heat. During condensation, the molecules in the matter slow down, heat energy is taken away, causing the state of matter to change. Alright, Fernandino teens, I have prepared a few questions about our topic for today. All you have to do is to answer the questions. Feel free to participate in our evaluation by typing your answers in the comment section below. I will be giving you 10 seconds to answer each question. Are you ready, Fernandino teens? Here is the first question. What do you call the process when a matter changes from one state to another? A. Chemical change. B. Physical change. C. Phase change. D. Chemical reaction. You have 10 seconds, Fernandino teens. Time is up! The correct answer is letter C. Phase change is the process when a matter changes or transitions from one state to another. For our second question, what type of phase change happens when a liquid turns into a gas? A. Condensation. B. Freezing. C. Melting. D. Vaporization. Do not forget to type your answer in the comment section. Time is up! The answer is letter D. Vaporization. Third question, what type of phase change happens when a gas turns into a liquid? A. Condensation. B. Freezing. C. Melting. D. Vaporization. Do not forget to type your answer in the comment section. Time is up! The answer is letter A. Condensation. Fourth question, in the process of vaporization, what happens to the molecules of liquid before it turns into gas? A. The molecules of liquid slow down and gain energy. B. The molecules of liquid slow down and lose energy. C. The molecules of liquid move faster and gain kinetic energy. D. The molecules of liquid move faster and lose kinetic energy. Time is up! The correct answer is letter C. The molecules of liquid move faster and gain kinetic energy. Next, for our fifth item, When gas particles lose enough energy, they blank and cause them to associate with one another to become liquid. Which word best fit the statement about condensation? A. Slow down. B. Move fast. C. Stay still. D. Get excited. The correct answer is letter A. When gas particles lose enough energy, they slow down and cause them to associate with one another to become liquid. Sixth item, which of the following is not an example of evaporation? A. Drying of clothes in the sun. B. Water sitting in a bowl and seems to disappear after a few days. C. The formation of clouds. D. Cooling down hot coffee. Alright, have you decided on your answer? Let's check. The answer is letter C. The formation of clouds is an example of condensation. Thank you for participating, Fernandino teens. As I have mentioned from the beginning, there is nothing permanent except change. Like the tiny particles of solids, liquids, and gases that change from one phase to another whenever subjected to pressure and changing environment, we must also be like them. When we feel pressured, stressed, or when we encounter problems, do not be afraid to change. Change your mindset, change your habits, and change your ways. As Charles Darwin's famous quote says, "It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but the one most responsive to change." Here are the references used in this presentation. Once again, thank you and keep going, Fernandino teens. Happy learning!
Bagong umaga, yakapin mo ang bagong pag-asa. Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isip.